It's the NHL Rapid Fire. Just a reminder, if you like what you see here, then like and subscribe to our YouTube page and hit that bell if you want to get notified every time we post a new video. So let's do this. We're going to start off with the New York Rangers and the Canadiens. The Rangers are 34-28. They're dealing with a few day-to-day players, but they have won 4 in a row. Last one was at the Islanders, 4-3. They've got a road record of 15-15, so they're a little, iffy there. The Canadiens are 29-36. They're coming off a home loss to Vancouver, 4-3. They've only won 2 of their last 5. Their home record's 13-21. They're actually a better road team. I'm showing New York at plus 113, Montreal at minus 125, and a total of 6.5. What can you tell me about this one?
Well, I can just tell you the New York Rangers are one of the hottest teams in the NHL right now, going under the radar. What is it? They won 13 of the last 15 games. And I mean, these guys are rocking and rolling. You got to pull the trigger on the New York Rangers here against the Canadiens, a team that does not play all that.
I love that. The plus money honey loves a little plus money. Come on. Okay, so let's go Chicago Blackhawks and Tampa Bay Lightning. The Blackhawks are 27-36. They're on their 3rd road game in a row. They lost the first 2 of those to Dallas and then St. Louis. They are dead last in the Central Division. Just not a great season right now, and they're going in to play Tampa Bay Lightning. They were hot last year. They're hot this year. They usually don't disappoint, but they've got a lot of injuries, and they've lost 3 in a row. Now, I didn't catch a line on that. Did you have one?
I didn't have a very good line on it at all. I would make it myself at minus 170.
Okay.
So where it goes, yeah.
Sounds about right. You're the expert, so I'll go with that. Okay, so let's do the Dallas Stars and the Boston Bruins. Dallas 37-26. Now these are 2 fairly evenly matched teams. Dallas is number 2 in the Central. They're 18-14 on the road. They've won their last 2. They just beat Carolina on their home ice 4-1. Boston's 39-25. They've lost their last 2. The last one was at home in Calgary versus Calgary 5-2. They're number 1 in the Atlantic, 21-3-9 at home. I'm showing Dallas plus 153 and Boston at minus 170. Where do we go with this one?
I like the under here all the way. Dallas runs a one-way type of transition type of hockey, very conservative. While the Boston Bruins are getting ready for a playoff run now, we've got just a little over a month before the playoffs start. You're going to see some defense from the Bruins. Dallas only plays one way. Under.
Dallas only plays one way. Take the under. Okay. So next one, we're going to do the Minnesota Wild at the Detroit Red Wings. The Wild are 30-32. I feel like this is an incredibly lopsided matchup. Sometimes that's like where you can find your value also. I just don't know if this is the one. I'll let you tell me. The Wild have won 3 of their last 5. They beat the Blue Jackets 5-4. Detroit Red Wings are 15-50. That's really pathetic. It sounds like what have you been doing all season? They're averaging less than 2 goals in a game, but they are really banged up. A lot of guys doing that day-to-day thing. They've lost their last 3 in a row. 3 in a row, but 2 of those were at home. Last one was to New Jersey 4-1. I'm showing Minnesota as a huge favorite, minus 200. Detroit plus 170. I love a good home dog. Is this the right opportunity for it?
Just from a mathematical standpoint, like we like to say, sprinkle a little bit of money line. Right. So just from a mathematical standpoint, I think this line's just a little bit overblown, obviously because of recency bias. But you always have to look at an under when you play Detroit. So look at this under closely. This team can't score. They've scored more than 1 goal, 1, 2, 3 times in the last 8 games.
Oh my God.
They just can't score. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So you got to look at the under. You got to weigh your angles. I'm not going to say too much about this game. I may have
All right. Well, fair enough. Why don't they score? Could you tell me that? What's going on? Why not?
You could go all the way back to the coaching. It's a very young team. They just don't have any cohesiveness as a team yet, and we'll see where it goes forward. Sometimes a team changes very quickly when you add in a few key players that sort of ignite a lineup.
Right. All right. Fair enough. Okay, so another New York team, we're going to do the other one, the Islanders. against the St. Louis Blues. Islanders are 35-27. They're dealing with some bumps and bruises as well. They lost at home versus the other New York team, 3-4. They're 15-15 on the road, 4-5-1 in their last 10. Now they're going to face the Blues. St. Louis is pretty dang good from what I hear, 37-27. They seem to be playing their A game right now. They've won 5 in a row. The last one was against the Blackhawks, 6-5. They're top of the Central Division, and The record at home speaks for itself, 21-6-5. Showing the Rangers at plus 145 and St. Louis minus 165. Where do we take this one?
Well, the Stanley Cup champs have defending Stanley Cup champs have won 5 in a row. The St. Louis Blues, I mean, they're on an uptrend. Islanders, not so much on an uptrend, but they've been inconsistent since the second half of the season sort of clicked in. Looking at St. Louis, though, they're exhausted. This will be their sixth game in 9 nights. So they're exhausted, and the Islanders are a team that can take them. Talk about it being ignited. Pajot just came over from Ottawa. That's a player that can ignite that team and that lineup. So we're going to go with the Islanders plus money.
Love that. I'm gonna make a little star there. Okay, so let's go to New Jersey and the San Jose Sharks. This is kind of like one of those who's the best of the worst for me. The New Jersey Devils are 35-37. They've got a bad season record, but they have won 3 in a row, 4 of their last 5, coming off a win at Detroit 4-1. San Jose Sharks 26-37. They've lost 5 in a row. The last 4 of those were on the road. At Philly was the last one, 4-2. They're 14-6 at home. I really can't stand teams that have a bad home record. I feel like that's the place you got to win. Maybe that's just the college basketball girl in me, or maybe it's just like how sports should work. So neither of these teams score a lot, but they do both give up a lot. I was kind of looking at maybe a total here, but I see the Devils at plus 132 and San Jose minus 140 all the way to minus 155. Where's your play here?
You know, you just said it, Allie, the over. You got to remember, these teams are playing loose. What are they playing for?
I wrote that on my paper.
They're not playing for anything. Players trying to pad their numbers. They say they're not, but they are. The Stars will come out to play, and you're going to see some goals.